Hey there, it's Toya Hawkins, transformation coach and founder of Inspire Me. And today I want to give you a dose of inspiration in regards to letting things go. You know, sometimes we can hold on so tight to some things and we can hold on for far too long. Some of us have relationships that we just need to be out of, we need to let it go. Friendships that have just dried us and sucked the very life out of us that we need to let go. Some of us have jobs that we've been on. We're no longer productive. They're no longer helping us. We're not even making the money we want to make. We need to let it go. Some of us have endeavors that we've been trying to make work, striving hard, and we don't know when to let go. Sometimes you do need to let things go. Now, I want to start by saying that I recognize that letting go, is sometimes easier said than done. And there's some reasons for that. One of which is because we've been doing the same thing for so long that we're comfortable. We get comfortable in whatever it is that we're doing, whether we like it or whether we don't. The comfort kind of keeps us right where we are. And because we've been doing it for so long, we're in the rhythm of it. We don't have to change. If something doesn't make us change, we don't really want to change because the motion of it is at least comfortable. Have you ever heard that term, I'd rather stay with the devil I know than to get with the devil I don't know. Well, I don't want to be the devil at all, but you know what I'm saying. And so my point is that a lot of times we'll stay right where we are because we're afraid of coming out of our comfort zone. We're afraid of dealing with something that we've never dealt with before. We're afraid of going outside of the zones of where we are. So we stay here or we hold on to something that is even bad for us. We hold on to it for longer than we need to hold on to it. Another reason we can find ourselves holding on and not willing to let go of something is because for some reason we think it's still a part of the vision. You know how sometimes you have a vision to accomplish particular things, do certain things, have a certain kind of relationship, and we see a vision of what it is that we want, what it is we're desiring, where we're trying to go. And somehow we think that this particular thing is still a part of the vision when in fact it may have been a part of an overall vision before, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this particular thing is still a part of the vision as you go forward. And we need to check. We need to go back and check. Take a minute to think about what's going on. The truth of the matter is that maybe the vision has changed. Maybe there's a slight tweak that needs to be done. Maybe there needs to be an adjustment to the vision and recognizing that what we're doing isn't in that vision. So we can let it go and go forward in the vision that we have now. Here's another reason we find it difficult to let things go. Sometimes it's because of the people that are involved with us in this particular thing, whether it's a business or a job or relationships, regardless of what the situation. Sometimes we are laxed at letting it go because of the people that are involved. Well, if I stop doing it, then so-and-so won't do it anymore. Well, if I stop going to this, then so-and-so won't go to this anymore. Well, I really don't want to get out of this relationship because I really do like this person. I really do, enjoy this person's company, even though they're really toxic and they're hurting me every time I'm around them. I really don't want to let this go because I've gotten a lot of friends this way, and I don't know how I will build up other relationships with other people if I get out of this group. Even though your position in the group or what you got out of the group, you're no longer getting out of that group. You're no longer benefiting from it, and you really need to move on, but you just can't seem to do that because you have all these people that are involved, and what are people going to say, and what are people going to think, and I can't do this because of all the people that are involved. And what I want you to know is that you can't make your decisions about what you're going to hold into your life based solely on what it is or who it is that's involved in your situation. Because people are making choices every day that don't have anything to do with you. They have something to do with you because you're involved with them, but they don't have anything to do with you in terms of when they make their choices. And you have to do the same. You have to be willing to let things go for the benefit, for the overall picture, for the benefit of your life, and sometimes for the benefit of others. You have to be able to let go. Sometimes we don't want to let go because we don't know who's going to take up the slack if we let something go. You know, you're the leader or you're the person that, takes care of a particular thing, and you feel that if you let this go, no one will take up the slack. And so what was being gained will no longer be gained. But what you have to understand is that when your time is up in a certain place, your time is up. You're not productive any longer. You're really not helping the people that you wanted to help in the first place when you started out. When the time is up, the time is up. Just because you've done something for a season does not mean that you need to do it forever. This is something that people really need to get. Just because you do something for a season does not mean you have to do it forever. You are not the all and the be all. Why did I say that? Because sometimes we think that without us, nothing can go on. Listen, if that work is really important, then when you step aside and let it go to move on to what it is that you are supposed to be doing right now, someone else will step up. You are not the only person. And maybe you're in the way of the person that is supposed to step into that position. That's one of the reasons we need to let things go when it's our time. When our time is up to move on to new things, then it's someone else's time to move on to new things. And that new thing may be the thing that you step out of. Let it go. So here's the last thing I'm going to share today as to why we can't let things go sometimes. I think it's because a lot of times the things we do, we are so wrapped in them, or rather should I say that our identity is so wrapped in the things that we do, or that we can't let them go. Our identity is so wrapped in our relationship. Our identity is so wrapped in our job. Our identity is so wrapped in our skills. I'm a singer. I sing praise and worship at our church, but my identity is not so wrapped in that I'm the one that has to lead all the time. I'm cool. You can lead. Please lead. We're all, we all have great skills. We all are called to do certain things. We have purpose and passion for certain things, and that's one of mine. But at the same time, I know that there are other people with the same gifts, the same callings, the same talents. I know that there are people with the same abilities. And I recognize that everyone has something for everyone else. And so I don't always have to be the one to do something. My identity, who I am Toya. And I'm Toya whether I'm on stage, whether I'm off stage. I'm Toya regardless of who I'm in front of or who I'm not in front of. I am able to let things go. When my time is up, my time is up. And that's okay, because I'm not just one thing, and neither are you. You're not just one thing that you do. You're complicated, but simple. The point is that our identity doesn't have to be wrapped in what we do all the time, so that we can let it go. Learn to hold some things loosely so that you can move on to the next thing. If who you are is totally wrapped in one particular thing, you'll never let it go. And you'll never live a life that's free. Because what if you can't do something on another time, at a particular time. You'll be racking your brains, worried about who's going to do it, how it's going to happen, when you need to just learn that you don't have to do it all the time. There are other people that can do it as well, and it's okay. It's okay. You can let it go. So I've taken a few minutes to talk about why it can be difficult for us at times to let things go. And I've also mentioned a few reasons as to why we should let things go. I want to spend a little bit more time there. Why we should let things go. One, because sometimes you're in the way. Sometimes you're in the way of someone else becoming who it is that they need to become. Why should we let things go? Because sometimes you hold on too long and the time has simply passed away. And sometimes you're trying to pull and drag something out of whatever it is that you're doing or involved in that you're absolutely not going to get out of it any longer because the season has passed. Why should we let things go? Because the things that we are holding on to so tightly that need to go by the wayside are in the way of our bright future. See, if you are doing something, spending all of your time and energy doing something that is not being productive, that is not benefiting you, that the life is gone from already, how will you have time to spend on the things that you know you should now be spending time with, where there is life, where there is exuberance, where there is freshness, where you are showing up in life the way you want to show up? How can you do that if you have all of these things that are in your way, taking up your time, usurping all of your energy because you won't let them go? They are in the way. Sometimes people can be in the way. You know, sometimes we stay in a relationship far too long. We know that we should have cut that relationship off, but we stay in it far too long. And Mr. used to be right is now Mr. Wrong, or maybe he was Mr. Wrong in the first place and you knew it, but you went along with it. That's another video. But maybe Mr. Wrong is in the way of Mr. Right. And until you are willing to take care of that and let it go, Mr. Right doesn't have a place. He doesn't have a place to settle in your life. Same thing for a job or a business or some endeavor that you're doing. If it's not where you should be and what you should be doing right now, it's in the way of what it is that you want to be doing or should be doing. Your time has to transfer to what you want, not what you have. Your energy has to transfer to where you're going and not necessarily invested totally in where you are. You've got to learn to let some things go.